Imagine a Yandere loves you. For those who don't know, a Yandere is someone so obsessively in love they'll kill anyone who comes near you. They'll stalk you, control you, isolate you. The normal response: run, fight, escape. But what if you did the exact opposite? What if you said yes to everything? Yes, track my phone. Yes, read my messages. Yes, eliminate my friends. Today, I'm analyzing a manga where the protagonist makes that terrifying choice. And what happens next will redefine psychological horror forever. But here's what makes this story truly brilliant. When the MC agrees to everything, the Yandere doesn't get what she wants. She gets confused, lost. Her entire identity was built on the chase, on overcoming resistance. When resistance disappears, her purpose vanishes. And a Yandere without purpose becomes something even the author didn't anticipate. Today, I'll show you how surrender became the most powerful weapon in manga history. And this leads to the question that haunted me for weeks after reading. In your own life, when faced with control, is agreement more powerful than resistance? We're taught to fight, to say no, to defend our boundaries. This manga suggests that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is say yes and watch the controller's world collapse from within. If you're ready to question everything you know about power and resistance, don't look away. Yandere characters aren't just tropes. They're psychological studies of obsession, possession, and the dark side of love. For years, manga presented them as unstoppable forces. Heroes had to defeat them, escape them, or die trying. Then came this manga. It asked, what if you didn't play the game? What if you changed the rules entirely? Today, we're dissecting that revolutionary narrative choice. Our story is titled Yes to Everything. Meet Kaito, a university student with a normal life. Friends, part-time job, future plans. Then enters Sakura. Beautiful, intelligent, charming. She confesses her love on their third meeting. Kaito, flattered, accepts. He doesn't know she's been watching him for 6 months, documenting his life, memorizing his routines. The first red flag appears subtly. She knows his coffee order without asking. 2 weeks into dating, Kaito finds Sakura's love journal. It's not a diary. It's a surveillance report. Photos of him from angles he never noticed. Notes about his friends. Potential threat. Needs elimination. Schedules of his entire week. Most people would panic, confront, run. Kaito does something else. He places the journal back exactly as he found it. And when Sakura returns, he says, "I saw your journal. Your dedication is impressive." Sakura doesn't deny. She watches him carefully, testing, waiting for the anger, the fear, the rejection. Kaito smiles. "I'm flattered you care this much. But if you're going to document my life, let me make it easier for you." He hands her a spare key to his apartment. "Come anytime. No need to hide." Sakura's expression, usually controlled, flickers with genuine confusion. This wasn't in her script. Kaito's internal monologue explains his reasoning. A Yandere's power comes from secrecy, from operating in shadows, from the gap between what you know and what she knows. Eliminate the gap and you eliminate her power. If she wants to watch me, I'll perform. If she wants to control me, I'll volunteer. It's psychological judo, using the opponent's strength against them. Sakura identifies Kaito's best friend, Hiroshi, as the biggest threat. She subtly suggests Hiroshi might be interested in Kaito's girlfriend. Normal response, defend the friend. Kaito's response, you're right. Hiroshi can be overbearing. I'll distance myself. He doesn't wait for Sakura to act. He proactively reduces contact with Hiroshi. reports it to Sakura like an employee reporting to a manager. Sakura begins showing subtle signs of distress. She prepares elaborate traps, emotional tests Kaito is supposed to fail. He passes them all, not by being perfect, by being transparent. When she accidentally sees a message from a female classmate, Kaito shows her the entire conversation history, offers to block the girl. Sakura says no, it's unnecessary, but her eyes show something new: doubt. Chapters 11 to 15 show a fascinating shift. Sakura starts seeking Kaito's approval. Is it okay if I? Do you mind when I? The controller becomes the one asking for permission. Kaito always says yes. But his yeses have transformed. They're not submission. They're permission grants from a position of power. Sakura's obsession now requires his validation to continue. Sakura has her first breakdown. Not angry, not violent. Crying, confused. "Why are you like this?" she asks. Kaito responds calmly. "I love you. I want you to be happy. If watching me makes you happy, watch. If controlling me makes you happy, control." It's unconditional acceptance. The very thing she thought she wanted. But it feels empty. Her love was defined by overcoming obstacles. No obstacles, no love. Sakura tries to adapt. If Kaito won't resist, she'll create artificial resistance. She stages scenarios, accidentally revealing she keyed a car she thought was a rival's. Kaito's response: "I'll help you pay for the damages, but next time, let's talk first. I want to understand your feelings better." He treats her Yandere actions as communication issues, not threats. Enter Yumi, a genuine rival, not staged by Sakura. A new transfer student who likes Kaito. Sakura sees this as her chance. Real resistance, real threat, real reason to be Yandere. She prepares her tools, plans her moves. Kaito notices, preempts her, introduces Yumi to Sakura. "This is my girlfriend. She cares about me very much. Please respect our relationship." Yumi backs off. Sakura's reason vanishes again. If this psychological analysis is fascinating you, if you're seeing how manipulation can be reversed through radical acceptance, hit that like button right now. Let's see how many viewers are ready to dive deep into the human psyche, because we're about to enter the story's second act, where Sakura's transformation will shock you even more. Sakura stops her surveillance, stops her journals, stops her control. She sits in Kaito's apartment, staring at walls. "Who am I without this?" she asks. Kaito responds, "My girlfriend, a person, whatever you want to be." She cries, "I don't know how to be anything else." For the first time, Kaito doesn't have a ready answer. He just holds her. Sakura's painful rehabilitation. She has to learn basic relationship skills. How to ask instead of assume. How to trust instead of verify. How to love without possession. Kaito guides her, patiently. But the manga asks, is this still a relationship, or has it become therapy? Where's the line between partner and patient? Flashback reveals Kaito's past. His mother was borderline personality. His father was narcissistic. He grew up in emotional chaos. Learned to survive by becoming a mirror, reflecting back whatever people needed. Sakura's Yandere tendencies were familiar territory. He wasn't being brave or strategic. He was using childhood survival skills. This changes everything. Now we question, is Kaito helping Sakura, or is he perpetuating his own trauma? By not setting boundaries, is he enabling? By accepting everything, is he preventing real growth? The manga presents both perspectives through side characters. Hiroshi, you're letting her destroy you. Therapist character, you're providing the safety she needs to heal. Sakura gets a part-time job, makes a friend, starts therapy. She reports her progress to Kaito like a student to a teacher. He celebrates with her. But their dynamic remains uneven. She's recovering. He's unchanged. Still the perfect mirror. Still saying yes. Still accepting everything. Enter Sakura's former mentor, another Yandere named Akane. She finds Sakura's transformation disgusting. You've become tame, domesticated. You were a predator. Now you're a pet. Akane decides to save Sakura by eliminating Kaito. Not through subtlety, through direct threat. Akane confronts Kaito, knife in hand. I'm going to kill you. Sakura will thank me later. Kaito's response? If that's what you need to do, but can we talk first? I want to understand why you think this will help her. Akane freezes. This isn't fear. This isn't resistance. This is curiosity about her motives. Akane reveals something shocking. There's a network. Yanderes helping each other, sharing techniques, supporting the lifestyle. Kaito asks to attend a meeting. I want to understand. Akane, confused but intrigued, agrees. The next chapter shows Kaito in a room full of Yanderes, all discussing their projects, all assuming he's a new recruit. Kaito doesn't preach, doesn't judge, asks questions. What do you love about your person? What scares you about losing them? Have you ever tried just talking? Some Yanderes get angry, others get thoughtful. One starts crying. No one ever asked me that before. The Yandere network splits. Traditionalists versus reformers. The traditionalists want to expel Kaito. The reformers want to hear more. Akane, their leader, is torn. She came to kill Kaito. Now, she's interested in him, in his perspective. The weapon she brought sits unused. Sakura discovers the network, discovers Kaito's involvement. Her old instincts flare. They'll take you from me. She relapses, starts surveillance again. But this time, Kaito doesn't accept. For the first time, he says no. Kaito's explanation. I said yes to your love, yes to your fears, yes to your needs, but I can't say yes to you hurting yourself, going back to that darkness. You've grown, you've changed. This isn't you anymore. Sakura is devastated. The one constant, his acceptance, has broken. Sakura faces her ultimate test. Continue relapse into familiar darkness, or trust the terrifying uncertainty of health. She chooses health, tells Akane to leave, deletes the network contacts, returns to therapy. But something has shifted between her and Kaito. The stress finally hits Kaito. He's been the perfect mirror for too long. Maintaining that facade cracks him. He has a panic attack. Can't breathe. Can't think. Sakura finds him. For the first time, she's the caregiver. She's the stable one. The roles completely reverse. Kaito confesses everything. His traumatic childhood, his mirror adaptation, how he saw Sakura not as a threat, but as a familiar pattern. How his strategy wasn't strategy, it was trauma response. Sakura listens, doesn't get angry, says, "Now I understand you." They start over, as equals, both damaged, both healing, both learning real relationship skills. The power imbalance disappears. The control dynamic vanishes. They're just two people trying to love each other healthily. It's awkward. It's messy. It's real. Akane, watching from afar, sees their progress, sees that change is possible. She approaches her own target differently. Starts with honesty instead of stalking. Gets rejected brutally. But for the first time, she feels free. The obsession was a prison she built for herself. The Yandere network transforms. Some members leave. They want the obsession, not healing. Others stay, forming a support group for recovery. They share resources, therapists, books, strategies for healthy attachment. Kaito and Sakura visit occasionally, not as leaders, as fellow travelers. Sakura in university studying psychology. Kaito working in therapy himself. They live separately, but date healthily. Boundaries respected, independence maintained. They fight sometimes, make up, grow. The manga shows mundane moments, cooking together, studying, watching movies. The horror is gone, the love remains. Sakura's thesis advisor shows interest in her, romantic interest. She tells Kaito immediately. They discuss it, set boundaries together. No surveillance, no control, just trust. Sakura handles it professionally. The advisor respects her boundaries. No drama, no yandere, just adult relationship navigation. Not theirs. A reformed yandere from the network gets married. The reception includes both normal guests and recovering yanderes. Kaito and Sakura dance. Sakura whispers, "I never thought I could have this." Kaito, "I never thought I could want this." Final chapter. Kaito proposes. Not with drama, not with perfection. He's nervous, drops the ring. Sakura laughs, helps him find it, says yes. They embrace. The final panel, their hands intertwined, both wearing therapy bracelets, both flawed, both healing, both choosing each other daily. Traditional yandere stories, horror, escape, victory. This manga, understanding, transformation, healing. It asked, what if the monster is just a wounded person? What if love, not force, is the real weapon against darkness? This psychological depth is why it got 349K views. It promised horror, delivered humanity. Therapists praise this manga. Yandere traits mirror real attachment disorders. Anxious, preoccupied, fearful, avoidant. Kaito's mirroring is a real trauma response. Fawning. The recovery process mirrors actual therapy. Exposure, coping skills, rebuilding. It's not just story, it's psychological education. Now I ask you, in the comments, answer honestly. Have you ever used agreement as a form of resistance? A, yes, to disarm a controller. B, no, I always confront directly. C, I've been the one needing control. Your experiences matter. I'll feature the most insightful stories in my next video. This manga changed how yanderes are written. After its success, more stories explored redemption. More characters were given depth beyond crazy. It proved readers crave complexity over caricature. That monsters are more interesting when they become human. Why did this go viral? Because everyone has felt controlled. By parents, partners, bosses, society. The fantasy isn't defeating the controller. It's transforming the dynamic. This manga provided that fantasy with psychological realism. That's powerful wish fulfillment. Subtly, the manga comments on gender roles. Female yandere equals monster. Male protagonist equals savior through passivity, but subverts it. Both need saving. Both save each other. Both are products of trauma. The healing is mutual. The power is shared. If you take one thing from this analysis, the most radical response to control might not be no. It might be yes and, yes, I see your need for control, and I choose to respond with understanding. That doesn't mean accepting abuse. It means recognizing pain. Sometimes, that recognition is what breaks the cycle. Next week, video number 3 from Jukey's list. He is available as the strongest man in a genre box reversed world. A fantasy deconstruction about power, identity, and what happens when you're too strong for your own story. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Thank you for engaging with this deep psychological dive. This community's willingness to explore difficult topics is why I make these videos. Every comment, like, and share helps others discover meaningful content. Ultimately, this manga offers a healing fantasy, not just for yanderes, for anyone who's been labeled too much, anyone who's feared their own darkness. The fantasy that someone could see that darkness and choose to understand rather than run. While real yanderes need professional help, the core lesson applies. In any controlling dynamic, sometimes changing the game is more effective than playing it. Sometimes yes confounds where no confirms. It's not about submission, it's about strategic redefinition. A montage of key transformations. Sakura's surveillance tools being discarded, Kaito's mirror facade cracking, the therapy sessions, the network meetings, the wedding dance, the final proposal, no words needed. The journey speaks for itself. Final image, 2 therapy bracelets intertwined on a nightstand. Sunrise through window. Text, sometimes healing begins when someone stays. Fade to channel logo. If you believe in stories that heal rather than horrify, subscribe. Next week, what happens when you're too powerful for your own world?